Didmas Barasa, the Kimilili member of parliament, yesterday invited the media to his residence in Kimilili. He promised to make a major announcement. Let me just read for you the media invite from Didmas Barasa. It's saying all media houses, that is TV and radio, bloggers and freelance journalists are hereby invited for a media briefing by Honorable Didmas Barasa, MP, Kimilili, at his rural home in Nasianda tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. Expect a major announcement. So Kenyans were expecting a major announcement from Didmas Barasa, and the entire media camped at the residence of Didmas Barasa just to relay this particular big announcement from Didmas Barasa. And indeed, at around 12:30, Didmas Barasa addressed the media. And he issued a very long statement. And from that Didmas Barasa statement, I can only conclude that Didmas Barasa has decamped tactically from Tangatanga. So in this video today, I want to explain to you guys why Didmas Barasa has finally decided to ditch William Ruto's camp. But before we do that, if you're watching this video for the first time, I want you to take a second or two and click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. Now let us get back to the main issue. William Ruto has invested heavily on Didmas Barasa. And Didmas Barasa today announced to the entire country that he's going to take a sabbatical leave of 4 months from all Tangatanga activities. And that is going to take the lead in trying to unite the Luhya nation. And from Didmas Barasa's speech, Didmas Barasa has finally decided to dump William Ruto. And for those who've been following this channel, I've always opined that William Ruto is making one major political mistake and is going to regret big time. The mistake of investing on politicians instead of investing on the grassroots network. Assuming Didmas Barasa is going to dump William Ruto with all those investments, then what next for William Ruto? And I'm seeing a situation where others, of course the DP has invested on so many politicians, I'm seeing others also following suit. How is the deputy president going to counter those kind of individuals? Because the other day there was this member of parliament from Ijendia. Ijendia is from Kakamega County, one of the, I think Lurambi, member of parliament. Is it Lurambi, or there's a member of parliament in Ijendia here who defected from Tangatanga, went to Raila's office, then the next day he again went to the deputy president. So we are going to have so many people ditching William Ruto's camp, of course from both sides. Even Raila Odinga will be ditched. But William Ruto has heavily invested in some of these guys at the expense of developing his own grassroots support. But I want to focus on Didmas Barasa, because Didmas Barasa was a utility player in William Ruto's camp. That's the honest truth. And Didmas Barasa would always claim that he was going to be the cabinet secretary for interior in William Ruto's government. But that's now not going to happen. From his own statement, Didmas Barasa has dumped William Ruto. But why do you think Didmas Barasa has finally decided to dump William Ruto? There could be many reasons. But let us go back a bit. William Ruto sponsored a candidate in Kabuchai. Kabuchai is in Bungoma County. That's where Didmas Barasa comes from. Didmas Barasa was supposed to play a key role in delivering that seat. That seat was lost. Probably that could be point as to why the problem is facing today. Then he also sponsored a candidate in Matungu. And today he was being asked by one of the journalists there his next move, that why they lost in Kabuchai, in Matungu, and in Machakos. In fact, in Matungu and Kabuchai, a journalist wanted to get his thoughts on that. And he answered that they should go and ask Johnson Muthama, who is the UDA chairman. Because here, even in Machakos, they've lost. But why do you think he's dumping William Ruto? In my view, 4 reasons or 5. Number one, I think Project Musalia Mudavadi. Something tells me that there are individuals who are pushing so hard for Musalia Mudavadi to be made a president or the presidential candidate in 2022. And these guys are in deep state or the system. Didmas Barasa worked as I think he worked in the military. So probably he's been able to get these details that probably Musalia Mudavadi might be the presidential candidate. And if Musalia Mudavadi is going to be presidential candidate, Musalia Mudavadi comes from Western Kenya. Didmas Barasa cannot operate outside government. That's why in the last election, he opted for Jubilee ticket, because initially he wanted that ticket on ODM ticket, I think. But he opted for Jubilee because he knew also that Jubilee were going to win. So I think the fact that Musalia Mudavadi is likely or is being pushed is the reason why he has decided to join Musalia Mudavadi now. That's number one. Number two, politics is local. And 2022 is just around the corner. Didmas Barasa is a politician. And as a politician, Didmas Barasa has his own interest. His politics must serve his interest first. We had the two by-elections in Western Kenya, the Kabuchai by-election and the Matungu by-elections. I think the results of those elections actually shocked Didmas Barasa. And I did a video here of which many people really castigated me for doing on what next for William Ruto after Kabuchai and after Matungu. And I opined that the mere fact that the DP has lost that seat, there are chances that he was going to lose some of the members of parliament and also aspirants who had planned to run under his party. Some of them are not going to do so. Politics is local. Is it possible that Didmas Barasa has realized, based on his participation in that by-election, that it's not going to be possible to even use money to win in Bungoma County? I listened to Didmas Barasa's speech very closely. In his speech, he never mentioned William Ruto. That's something which shocked me. Again, in his speech, he talked of Tangatanga. He only mentioned Oda when he was asked. So politics is local. I'm seeing a situation where Didmas Barasa is going to take an opportunity to even align himself with Musalia Mudavadi or even with Moses Wetangula. Because in his speech, he never attacked this gentleman. And he must get elected again to qualify for the pension and again to be declared the president. So I think Didmas Barasa has realized that politics is local. And if politics is local, he must align himself with the local politics. And that's why Didmas Barasa is today talking of Mulembe Nation. Why is he talking of Mulembe Nation? That he's talking today of his people of Kimilili. William Ruto is telling Kenyans that they are moving away from tribal politics to hustler nation. So my expectation was that Didmas Barasa was going to talk more of hustler, which he didn't. He's talking more of Mulembe Nation, his people, so that his people are going to guide him during these 4 months on which political formation to join, but under Mulembe Nation. Number 3, the algorithm factor. I want to ask you a question. Do you honestly believe that Didmas Barasa won on Jubilee ticket in Kimilili constituency? He never won. Didmas Barasa was one of the vifaranga vya computer. There are some in Kakamega here, including Ben Washali. Vifaranga vya computers. And he knows so well that he never won in the first place. And knew so well that for algorithm to work for him, he had to align himself with the government of the day at that time. That government of the day was headed by Ruto and Uhuru. So today, Didmas Barasa is trying to align himself with the other government of the day, which is Uhuru, who is going to control the state machinery because Ruto has been kicked out. So I'm seeing that as also a contributing factor. But the credit you have to give to him, once elected, Didmas Barasa is one of the members of parliament who have actually outperformed the other members of parliament. He has done so much for the people of Kimilili, their buildings there, their schools, their roads, although he's also dramatizing some of these things, but he has delivered. So their algorithm is also a factor. Number four, there's a major fallout within Tangatanga. I think I alluded to this fact in one of my previous videos. Those who are keenly following my politics. Number four, I think there is a major fallout within Tangatanga. And I think I alluded to this in one of my videos. The first fallout is at the national level, where there's Muthama, there's Boni Aluale, and there's the rest. There's a group which feels Boni Aluale, Johnson Muthama, and Rosanamar should not be the face of order or of Tangatanga because they came late. And then there is the other group, the Kimani Shungwa, the Alice Wahome, the Ndindi Nyoro, who wants to own the deputy president. And then at some layer, there are those allies of the deputy president who have stood with the deputy president for a long time, like Oscar Sudi, like Farouk Hibet. So someone was telling me that the biggest problem Didmas Barasa was facing was that he was being accused of failing to deliver the Kabushai by-election. And he was not very happy with that because, according to him, the money which was meant to mobilize the crowd was not used the way they were supposed to be used. That Farouk Kibet and Oscar Sudi really frustrated him to access even some of those funds. And that's why after the Kabushai by-election, and I want to ask you, have you even seen the Ben Washali or even Boni Aluale coming out strongly from Kakamega, or even Rashid Echesa after the Matungu? So there's a fallout within Tangatanga. And if this fallout is not going to be managed by the deputy president, he's going to face it serious. He's going to face serious challenges because we are how many months away from the next general election. So today, as at now, William Ruto's campaign should be taking shape. He started early enough, and now it's when people are now starting to leave, starting to realign themselves. The fallouts are emerging. When he's supposed to be now bringing everything everything to the right path. So the fallout is in Tangatanga, and it's huge. Let us just wait and see how it's going to unfold. And lastly, raising his tax. Probably this guy is not going to resign. He's just threatening to resign, giving 4 months that I'm not going to attend your functions, to see how these guys are going to react. And because William Ruto is someone who believes in perception, he doesn't want to be perceived to be being ditched by his allies. He's going to look for Didmas Barasa. Then Didmas Barasa is going to tell them, okay, I'm willing to come back, but under these terms and conditions. So probably it's just raising his tax. But that one is my last point. It's not the top. The top of my point is either Musalia Mudavadi factor or the politics being local, followed closely by the fallout in Tangatanga. I don't know what you think, but that's my take. And if you're watching this video for the first time, please take a second or two and click the subscribe button so that next time you produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, please, I want to continue. Thank you guys for your support. I'm back. My ankle is now resting and I'm back. Thank you guys, and please may you have a good day.